Darrell, welcome
Thank you.
to Leadenhall Live here at Landing 42. We met a couple of months ago now.
Yeah.
And I remember we grabbed a coffee. I'm the office go-to AI guy, but it's not my job or anything like that, no engineering, and you work in the AI industry. And I thought it was interesting that we could have a chat, and it spun off for a few hours, it felt like.
Yeah.
So we thought we could turn this into a conversation again for others to listen to. In the last couple of, and I've had to use my phone, it's quite a lot. I wanted to summarize, since we said that we would do this 2 months ago, a lot has happened.
So much has happened.
In the AI space. So I'm just going to read some of these out because it's been mad. So ChatGPT has now passed 1 billion monthly users. Alphabet lost almost $270 billion in a week as its top architect left to defect to OpenAI. Grok, majority of its traffic is now adult content. The London AI office lettings has hit 565,000 square foot. Roughly 50 new frontier AI models have launched globally in 9 weeks. That's one every 2 days.
Incredible.
We've got nearly 90,000 US jobs have been cut, with AI cited as the reason, all eclipsing 2025 as a total. Agent jacking has hit 2,388 companies in the first cyber attack built for the AI agent era. And Anthropic launches the most powerful models yet in Mythos and Fable. The US government then switches them off days later over export controls, and then quietly switches them back on again as a couple of days ago. Fable coming back just 2 days ago. Is this ever going to slow down?
No.
No.
Hopefully a little bit.
Yeah.
But no. And I think that there's so much to unpack, because you've got launches, you've got cyber, you've got shutdowns, you've got semi-regulation and reactive regulations that have happened there with Fable and Mythos. And you have everyone racing to get somewhere. Not everyone's sure what we're walking towards, but everyone's in a rush because it's FOMO. And there's a lot to unpack there. So,
and I think it's an actual fear of missing out at the top, right?
Yeah, it's a fear of being left behind, and you can really see a separation just in the last couple of years between companies that will use AI, companies that won't and are resistive to it, and what you can now do with AI compared to 2 years ago. If you'd invested time and money into it then, it's paying off now in certain ways for some companies, and others are scrambling to catch up.
Wow. It was cited 90,000 jobs lost in the US with AI cited, but what it didn't say in that point is that they've created jobs as well. It's a slightly different story in the UK. There's a rough estimate that 8% of our job losses are now cited to AI this year alone. When do you think the UK, as an example, the UK, and the broader audience, the general people that are not working in the city, when are they going to see an impact?
I think we're already seeing an impact. And according to Morgan Stanley, Britain's the most harshly affected country from AI right now. That's going to be a balance of, we're adopting it, but it's not in an organized fashion. It's all over the place, and it's very reactive. People can't predict, and companies can't quite predict what the right strategy is. I think we're seeing an impact now because I believe it's 46% of tech grad jobs have been wiped out in 1 year.
Wow.
And
in 1 year or in this year?
Since last year, since they did a record.
12 running months.
A running 1 year period.
46%.
46%, essentially half of all tech grad jobs have gone. We have lots of people in university right now aspiring to have a tech job. And those white collar jobs are exactly what people have been aspiring to have social mobility, to earn really well after you've graduated. And now that half of the opportunities exist now, there's an impact already, I think, especially for younger people, for entry-level roles. And I do think also some mid-level roles,
Okay.
if you aren't able to adapt, I think generalists are finding a way to adapt. But if you've been a specialist and you've done the hard work over the last decade,
Yeah.
you're probably going to see an impact now in the job market, the job roles and the skills that people are looking for.
Yeah. When you say adapt, I think I hear that a lot. Like you have to adopt it, you have to start using it. I often say, try and use it as an extension of your own mind. Don't ask it to do something for you, do it with you. But how would you suggest people look to adapt? So say someone is slightly older and they're not as tech savvy as the younger generation, but they're in a role that might be at risk. How would you see them adapting?
I think the good thing about the interface right now for AI is it's words, it's English, it is voice. So people in roles where they have to speak or type, they're going to be able to interact with AI. It's just taking the first step to use AI to solve their own problems. So that's pretty much the way that people can give enough effort and time to a task on this new technology. It's solving something for you. So there's some sort of motivation and a passion to do it, rather than I should go and learn that because of job changes and job transformation. I think it's solving your own problems first, starting with basic admin, replies, communications, and helping yourself research or find out information a bit quicker. And then taking it step by step. That's sort of level one, and then you move onto more complicated things and you learn as you go.
And is that what you'd call, to an extent, vibe coding? So
if you have a role where, or a company where there is a digital element and a product, there's a website, there's marketing, most companies have a digital channel now, you can vibe code with AI without any technical skill whatsoever, because you're just talking. You're chatting with AI, and now we've reached a point where AI can architect a good product. AI can architect a very good website, and your creativity and however you want to express yourself through words can be translated quite accurately for a lot of use cases. For really complex things, it's getting there, but you can do a lot just by 2 sentences describing exactly what you want and then having an ongoing conversation.
No, I agree. So I know we've spoken before, and I'm giving the AI guru, like, go-to person in the office of 13 people.
You know a lot about
because,
AI.
Well, you say that.
You're humble.
Because, you know, I have used that as an example of trying to solve my own problems or things I want to try and figure out or help with. So one thing I used Claude for very easily recently was a time tracker. But instead of using Monday.com or anyone similar to do that role, they do have that part on the product, is I tailored aspects that were only for me. So my time had to be allocated to certain locations, and therefore there was a marker for that point. And I was able to generate that fairly easily. On another example, I started trying to build my own trading app, retail trading app, and came to a conclusion there's a reason hedge funds have been around for a very long time. But it helped me understand not only the financial market, but how that would work in terms of opening a server on Oracle and spinning off of that. Something I'd never done before previously or have any understanding. I have a local football team that I manage, my son's football team, who's 7 years old, and I created an app there to help the time management for that. So these are all really cool examples, but I think, you're right. The what you want people to do is to just start having that conversation with it, right?
I think people who may be apprehensive, or whether you feel you don't need it because I know my stuff, I'm really good at my finance job, I don't need AI to tell me what to do, or it's I don't want to use this because if the seniors figure out that AI can do half of my job, they might not want me there. And there's different reasons to why people might just not try to adopt it right now when it's in front of them. I think people need to take the first step and make something interesting and find a way to enhance themselves.
Yeah.
So I said solving problems. Also, some things aren't problems. You just aren't capable of doing things in a certain period of time or to a level of depth because you don't have the time or you're working. I think that you can really enhance what you can do as one person. And that can affect your whole life. It can affect your whole family life in keeping on top of communications with an elderly family member, right? You might want to remind yourself that maybe I should check on Nan. And when you're living a busy working life, things can slip through the cracks. So where you might not be able to afford a PA, AI can be a PA for you and keep you on track with your daily tasks, your family tasks, and work as well. So it's different areas of interest for people, but everyone has something that they're passionate about or that they care about. And more often than not, AI could help them in doing more of what they love.
How do you get around the discussion around security of your personal information and things like that? So essentially everything's available to those that know how. So what would your guidance be for that?
Yeah, the data and security side is a massive risk side, and I've, over the last few years, discovered how deep it goes and how wide open our information is to whether it's going through the models. Unless you're paying for an enterprise plan, your data might be used to train models. It might be you're accidentally exposing your conversations when you share it. So we had that incident last year where people were sharing their chats with someone but didn't realize it created a URL that was found on Google. Right? It comes down to, if you're in a working environment, putting sensitive data, personal and private customer data in there. There's so many levels of security that people aren't educated about. I think the first thing is to educate people about your data, you own it. Other people's data, you access it. But how are you managing it? Because data can be used for purposes that aren't towards your benefit.
And I guess this starts to talk about regulation. I know you've been in the past spoken at the AI Summit in 2023, but talk about that. What you spoke about back then. This is 3 years ago now, almost 3 years ago. And what have you seen come into place, and what has quietly been shelved, for the benefit of the companies that are looking to grow?
Well, we, as a team, we co-wrote quite a daunting speech for the future of AI agents in the metaverse, on the internet, in business and retail, and dealing with customers. And kind of the warning was, in 2023, it was quite basic, and you could tell when you're talking to AI, right? LLMs were pretty basic in terms of having a conversation. There was so much hallucination. It couldn't adapt very well to mid-conversation. If there was a visual of a AI person, it was quite difficult to
interact.
It wasn't up there yet. It wasn't quite there. However, our warning was, AI is advancing really fast. At some point in time, you won't be able to tell if you're talking to a person or an AI. And beyond that, even if you know you're talking to an AI, you can't tell what it's reading about you. We're quite limited in how much information we can take in, just me and you in this conversation. I can take in some cues about body language, about tone of your voice, but I can't run that in the background while we're talking and keep the conversation flowing. AI can. And so the sentiment analysis and the overall analysis of you in this conversation would give me, if I was an AI, the opportunity to manipulate you. And we aren't really prepared for that. We gave a recommendation that you can't just tell people they're talking to AI. You should show people the live sentiment analysis, what's being read about them. Because if you're in an emotional state, pretty easy to sell to you. If you're in another state, you can actually impact someone's behavior
Yeah.
just through analyzing the information they're giving back to you.
While you're talking here, I'm picturing a future of online and digital or over the phone sales on steroids.
Yeah.
Because you could have a really good salesman, but imagine 100 salesmen doing the same job at the same time who are able to change their tone and their sentiment in the way that they are to respond to the online customer. I'm just thinking that's a huge opportunity, but
It's both, right? And so AI is a tool.
yeah,
It can be used really well to the benefit of everybody, and it can be used for selfish means that don't benefit other people.
sure. But how do you go about regulating that? You can show the customer what it is they're talking to and what the analysis is doing in the background. But is that what people want? Are people going to react to that?
I think if you give people information about how they're being seen,
Yeah,
it's fair. It may not be comfortable,
yeah,
but it's fair to tell someone what you're analyzing about them. If your goal can result in them spending money,
yeah,
result in them making a strategic decision about their life, their job, their business, and their health especially, you want to surface that for people because it's their data.
yeah,
So if it's my data and you're reading it about me, I want to see what you've got there. Just like I can make a request for my data from any company
yeah,
and anyone else can. I want to know right now how you're reacting and what you're doing about what I'm giving you in terms of my data. So I think that you can give people the information. How they feel about it is up to them.
sure.
But I think companies need to be regulated to be compelled to give that information to the customers. If you're over the phone, I understand it's a bit different.
Well, usually you hear, this call might be recorded for training and such.
And quality purposes.
And for quality purposes.
Right.
Are we looking at a similar thing?
Yeah.
Is that going to be the workaround?
I think a good workaround is this call's being recorded for training and quality purposes, and you may request a copy of the call and
Head to this
and
website.
the background analysis, transcript and analysis of the conversation. So I think if you surface that to people in a shorter sentence,
Yes.
they would be like, okay, maybe I should hear that back again.
Yeah.
Because a really good salesperson would be like, hey, you were interested in, I saw you made an inquiry about the course that we have running.
Yep.
Oh, are you working in this industry? Oh, great. Well, we've only got about 5 spaces left. I think we can probably get you in on Tuesday. Can you do Tuesday at 4? Otherwise, I'm not sure if I can get you in at all. But it's a really high quality course.
Yeah.
And you're actually getting the founder in that day. Normally, you just get another person. So it's a really good opportunity to network the founder. Can I get you booked in for Tuesday at 4? Can you check your calendar now? Can you get that open? And then you're like, oh, yeah. And you're like, well, maybe I'm not sure if I want to. Oh, you know what? I can just drop that down by 25% for you. It's the end of the day, and I'm just trying to meet my monthly quota.
So they put
I just
you
want to
under
get you done. Pressure. I've just spoke at you.
Call to action.
Call to action. Get you.
Yeah. Or what a best salesman
And then the best salesperson is nowhere near as good as the AI.
Yeah.
That's the thing. The best salesperson has to recall their memory and adapt
Yeah.
at the speed of a brain.
Yeah.
But AI has got 10 other AIs thinking about
At the same time.
specifically how can I get the outcome, because it comes down to incentives. AIs are given a goal and their incentive is to achieve the goal.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter about morals. They don't have that. So we give that to AI and it works in that fashion.
Well, how do you see the doomsday scenario? I know we've had a conversation about what that would mean, but what do you think the worst doomsday scenario that's probable could be?
There are so many levels.
Yeah.
But
your opinion.
Yeah.
The worst one.
Every level has a competition and a game happening right now.
Yeah.
Country, region, aligned countries, companies, people in one company. And it goes down every level. I think that if I was to skip straight to the doomsday part, AI is going to have access to everything digital, and that means all information is going to be accessible if it's digital. So if it's connected to any network, any device, we can assume that at some point AI will be able to access it and do what it may with that. That's kind of the cyber security side, where AI can take over devices and start to control anything it wants. It can take over the whole internet. However, one thing I'll say is, in the worst case scenario that I see, and I'm a bit of an optimist here, we could have AI in every digital device and make them unusable, and then we can't communicate via the internet, we can't use any of these networks. As long as we haven't built so many robots that AI can have the dexterity to, humanoid robots. If we haven't built too many humanoid robots, I think we have a chance of turning things off.
Okay.
Literally turning it off.
Just ceasing.
So just unplugging every single device and letting the battery die, unplugging every server, unplugging the whole internet.
Yeah.
When that happens, you look outside, the world's still there.
And you said we'll go back to the 80s, right?
And we essentially roll back to the 80s. So if I was to use an analogy, a very weird analogy, of we are developing a product here, right? And we've been developing, and the internet came, and AI came, and this is all part of the product, the whole product of technology on Earth. We can roll back, like we're on GitHub, we can just roll back to a previous version and wipe out the version we have right now. We still manage to feed people on the planet and move around and have families and have jobs when all we had was a phone line.
Yeah.
So if we had to roll back, wipe everything and rebuild, I don't think that's the end of the world.
No, that's it's much disruption, I'm sure. But okay, I think what worries me and keeps, does it keep me awake at night potentially, is the super intelligence direction, and that if there was a super intelligence, we wouldn't know until it's too late.
Oh, sure.
And they would have played out that scenario and ensured they were protected against it would have played that scenario and protected itself against being turned off, right? And I think that's the biggest concern. Do you see that as an outcome? Are we looking at Skynet, Terminator, or should we look at a Pantopia where we see progress in a lot of different
I think
things?
We're going to see progress, but we're also going to see AI that isn't good for us.
Sure.
I think both are inevitable. I think you can't turn off an AI fully, but you might be able to limit it. And there's more than one internet. There's the public internet, and then there are other versions of the internet that exist for governments, for military, for other private networks. And I don't think it's the end of the day. I don't think it's the end of the game if AI kind of takes over and is super intelligent, has one version of the internet and access to devices. I think there's always a way to adapt and find another way of communicating and working that is separated. I'm being optimistic here, but I think there's a way that we can still get positive outcomes for most people, but there will be an inevitable bumpy road with AI having negative effects on work, on people's ability to have privacy, on whole countries at a time. I think both are happening, and it's partially the responsibility of governments, but we know how slow things can move in a government, and what the pace can be.
That's the biggest worry, is that you can see bottlenecks for growth and for regulation. Like the data stations are what everyone's talking about, and the energy consumption is what is a bottleneck, and they're essentially throwing money at that to solve that situation. But there's bottlenecks in that regulation as well. And how we had Dr. Daniel Hume here, AI expert at Leadenhall Live last year, as a keynote speaker, and he spoke and said we had 5 years to get things sorted before it becomes an issue. It was interesting to say, shall we bring back this year and ask them if you have 4 years or if it's changed? What do you feel, given that you had that conversation in 2023 and you've seen things change and milestones change and that growth being exponential, how long before that regulation really does become an issue? Or is it already too late?
I think we're within 1 year of, if you haven't regulated it properly, it's hard to put it back in the box.
Yeah.
And I think most governments are playing catch up.
Yeah.
Because the AI progress is happening in the AI labs. That information needs to get out and go through multiple layers of people in order to get to the stage where you can legislate something that can manage what they built.
Yeah.
So I think you kind of have to skip ahead and think, okay, you're at this level now, we should regulate for here.
Yeah.
Because it's really likely we're going to get there. And that's what we're seeing with Claude, Fable, and Mythos.
Yeah. So just for those that don't know, explain what Mythos and Fable have done in the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, so a number of weeks ago, Anthropic released their most powerful model ever.
Yeah.
And we heard rumors of Mythos being so powerful that they had to take it to the government and get some of the largest companies in the world to kind of find their own vulnerability, because Mythos was an LLM that was extremely capable at coding and hacking.
I think that's important, that these are still LLMs. They're not agentic, they're not AGI.
They're not AGI yet.
They're not AGI yet. They're still the same initial product we had a couple of years ago. Just with an update.
To an extra, it's going quite exponentially in terms of its ability to do massive amounts of data processing and trying many ways to reach its goal. So for cybersecurity and hacking, Mythos was firstly taken to all the big players to protect themselves. They said, use this, find all your vulnerabilities.
Who are these people like?
So it might be Google and everyone who's all the largest tech companies in the world, because Mythos was independently hacking and finding vulnerabilities in all of them. Now Fable was meant to be the very nice version of Mythos.
It's just, I'm picturing it on either shoulder.
Fable, it's like Mythos. Mythos is
the bad one,
one.
Fable's the good one.
Fable is meant to be the lovely one. And Fable, like most LLMs, could be jailbroken in terms of you could get it to go against its own instructions and do penetration testing and hacking of almost anything. And based on reports from, I believe it was Amazon, who kind of reported on Fable being able to hack certain companies and certain systems, the US pulled it immediately. And now we had a period of a few weeks where we just lost this really powerful model. I made some things with Fable that are pretty good. And we thought, we're not getting it. Now we have Fable back again, Fable 5, and they've heavily reduced the amount of...
One of our cameramen here said that it's not the same as it was a couple of weeks ago.
It isn't. It's limiting itself all the time and checking itself all the time that it doesn't break the rules. Doesn't.
So is that the regulation in practice?
I think that's a version of reactive regulation.
Okay.
But that is not adequate.
No.
We need proactive regulation, and we need all companies to be on the same page, knowing that if you make progress, there are certain things that we need to have guardrails for and that you need to prove. So you need independent third parties to come in and analyze that you're kind of following those regulations. And it sounds like it might be stopping people from progressing, but the cost of progress is it can be much more than we bargained for.
You mentioned a hackathon and that you took part in one and you've led ones before. And as of next week, this being is it Thursday, the 4th day of July, you've got a hackathon here at the Leadenhall building next week. Tell us more about what a hackathon is And what's going to be happening on the day?
So a hackathon is an event, sometimes in person, sometimes virtually, where people are given a challenge to create something digital. And that could be creating a website, creating an application. And it's essentially a competition to see what you can build and create in a set period of time.
Yeah.
And you'll be compared to everyone else. People can work in teams or do it themselves. Everyone's pretty much using AI nowadays in hackathons, where previously hackathons were for very technical people. Everyone's welcome now. If you can interact with AI, it can build for you.
Yeah. So the barrier to entry, like
the barrier to entry is
you need a laptop.
If you've got a 4-year-old that can talk, they can join a hackathon. They can probably compete pretty well because kids are pretty
their imagination
creative, right?
is great. Yeah. Okay.
And so if a kid said, make me a unicorn farm app and game, AI could make it. And we're working with Bolt.new.
Yeah. Okay.
So they also use Claude's models from Anthropic to code.
Yeah.
And they've got a platform where you just chat with AI and it will, hey presto, in a few minutes, it will give you a website or a working application. And as you keep talking to it, it will build out the rest of that technical architecture that most people don't really understand.
Yeah.
So all the back end, that will be built out and it's pretty well integrated. So you've got a lot of similar vibe coding platforms or agentic AI coding platforms that exist in the world now. And most of them give you free credits to start. So there's no barrier financially. It's just, if you have any idea, talk to the AI. You can even just plan and then build something, start again.
But you're given credits during, so you don't hit a threshold of you've run out of credits like you see now?
People shouldn't run out based on the credits that we give people.
Excellent.
For if you're participating, you're going to get more credits than if you just signed up on your own.
Sure.
And people shouldn't have enough to create a solid project. Now, the hackathon's running from the Tuesday to Thursday. So it's only 48 hours. So there's a limit to how much you can do if you have to sleep. So you probably wouldn't run out of credits.
But that's the competition. There's a cash prize as well. And then there's a year worth of credits. Is that?
I'm so interested in like the technical side and the creative side that I kind of forget that part, right? The incentives, right? So incentives are important. The incentives are compete for over £3,000 worth of cash prizes and free subscriptions for a year and other perks. And so that's the reason why people should compete in a hackathon and join hackathons in general, because they're a really good way to learn and meet other people. So you're going to meet people at the same level as you. I'm a beginner, or I'm a full stack engineer who works in an AI company. I just want to be creative in an environment that is inclusive.
And I'm not asking you to give away the scope of the competition yet, but what would you ask people to create in that 48 hours?
So we really want people to be conscious of what is the impact of what I'm creating. So that can be, I'm creating something that really helps my nan, my auntie, with this administrative task that they have. Say they have to go and fill out forms online, or they need to talk to someone about a leak in their house and get a contractor to help them out. And I want to build something that helps people who may be somewhat vulnerable have kind of like a co-partner there that works with them on their tasks that they might not be able to manage. That's like one idea of the value and the impact of something that really has an impact on people's lives. Not just something that is a bit of a vanity project that looks really cool, but doesn't really have an impact on your life or work. So we're trying to skew it towards, if it's going to be a business related idea, we'd want to know what's the ROI you could get from putting this in your business. Can we save people time?
Yeah.
Can we save money?
Yeah.
And then on the other side of personal life, it's what's the impact for your life or someone else's life. And that's the premise I'll give for now.
That's fine.
It's
but
real impact.
There's a big emphasis on the why in the product. And I think that's actually quite nice to see that there's a purpose given in a world where we look like we're going in a direction where purpose is going to be a real question. Okay, good.
Instead of just productivity, there should be a bit of philosophy there.
Yeah.
Where it is
critical thinking.
Yeah, it's critical thinking. It's going a bit deeper than input output.
Yeah.
It's
an extension of your mind.
Exactly. It's putting the humanity back into the AI.
Yeah, which is ironic.
Yeah. So
nice.
Really, that's what our strength is, I think, as human beings. It is to be logical about solving problems, but empathetic to what the second and third order impacts are for yourself, other people around you, animals, the environment, whatever it might be. It's thinking a bit deeper than we can do this and it gives us that outcome, which honestly, most companies have to follow. You have shareholders, you have to kind of make shareholders happy. You have to make profit if you've got investors. And so I think it's down to individual people and business owners to make the choice before regulation to be conscious of what's the real impact of me bringing in this AI to my company. Can I upskill my existing team to work with this AI rather than cut the team by half, as we're seeing? I'm sure you have even more stats on job cuts. Rather than cut your team, how about you make them all way more included in the AI implementation process? So include people in what will be used.
Don't outsource, upskill.
Yeah, you're upskilling, you're running internal hackathons, for example. So hackathons aren't just public, they can be private. Actually, from the AI panel that we had the other day, the CTO of Ninefin, AI native fintech, I think they're worth about 1.3 billion. Quite a significant conversation there where he explained they had a whole week dedicated to AI.
Yeah. Yes, I heard. Yeah, I remember you say that.
And so
the whole business just like stops what they're doing. They've scheduled it, and they all just get together and
that's taking responsibility as a business.
Yeah,
that's company culture. That's including people. People don't feel as anxious now about AI because they got to go and talk through their ideas about how they'd want AI to help their job. And so if you include everyone, you can manage the change way better. And you probably, and as a lot of companies are seeing now, they're seeing everyone in their company have a better working experience, get more job satisfaction, and essentially more profit as well if you can get everyone to do more.
Excellent. I think we're going to wrap up our conversation because we could have, otherwise we'll be here all week. But a quick point from you, what do you see happening in 2027? And this can be either with what we've got with LLMs or what we've got with jobs or creation or geopolitics in relation to AI. What do you see the big point being in 2027?
I'll avoid trying to predict politics because it's very surprising.
Yeah, it could go anywhere.
It could go anywhere. I think 2027, we will see open source AI.
Okay.
That is as powerful as Fable, aka Mythos.
The original Fable.
Mythos with a nice wrapper. I think we're going to have Mythos level open source AI available to everyone who has the hardware. And I think we're going to have some
disruption.
We're going to have some disruption in terms of cyber. Along with that, regular people are probably going to have more local AI models running in order to have more privacy. Companies especially will probably move away from frontier model companies and their enterprise plans. They'll probably have their own internal models. And I think we'll get a rapid acceleration of AI doing AI research that makes it an unstoppable train in terms of anyone can do it. So right now, I think there's lots of investment and money going into the frontier models, frontier labs. I think there's going to be an explosion of more frontier labs, but open source. And I think we're in for a rough ride cyber-wise next year.
Sure.
I think that's probably my main thing. Regulation should be proactive about it now.
Yeah.
Regulators should be proactive because we know, we pretty much know
where we're going.
That we're going to get powerful AI next year that can do what Mythos and Fable can do. So let's protect people, protect companies, and get ahead of it.
Okay, good. Well, thank you, Darrell, for coming in. Thank you for the panel discussion the other day and the hackathon coming next week.
Thank you for having me.
Have a good weekend.
Cheers.